Hello and welcome to round 9 of the 2015 Formula Virtual World Championship here from the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve in Montreal, Canada. I'm your lead commentator, Brent Downton, and I will be joined today by Harry Westwood. The only previous winner here is Adrian Simon, but will we get a new one today? Enrico Ruiz starts on pole position ahead of Enzo Domenicali for the second race in a row. Puccio Giordano lines up third, Wagner is fourth, and then starts a train of a Noah's Ark grid. Simon and Maxwell lock out row 3 for Liverpool, Westwood row 4 with Hoskins ahead, row 5 Powers leads Thunder for Downton, and on row 6 Milkovic leads Matson, on row 7 Felix Bayer leads Hiroto Nakamura, and on row 8 and 9 Fun and Meteor mess up the fun. No pun intended. Row 10, Dwyer leads Sykes for Ocelot, and on row 11, James Harding leads Abel Ersterhagen at the back of the grid. So, down on the grid then, we have Enrique Ruiz on pole on the right, Enzo Domenicali second on the left. We're waiting for the lights to go out. They're out now, we're racing in Montreal. It's a good start from Ruiz. Domenicali tries to slip alongside but can't, slots into second, Giordano slots into third, and down the inside of Elroy Wagner comes Adrian Simon. Wagner's going to fight off round turn 2, but Simon goes around the outside into 4th place. Wagner drops back to 5th then. Kip Maxwell coming under pressure from Will Hoskins for 6th as they go side by side into turn 3.
Well, Hoskins is making the move stick. I think he's got the inside line and he's taking the position, so Hoskins moves up into 6th place, is that?
It is, as we look back at the AMR of Hiroto Nakamura, challenging one of the Meteors in front.
Just like to say, that's a really nice camera angle.
It is, isn't it? And so is that.
But
camera shake as they go past, as we see Nakamura challenging Arden Hutchinson. And there's an Ingram over the gravel, and that was one of the Downtons running wide. I think that's Powers.
Yeah, I think so, because Thunder is still right up with Kinnaman.
No, scrap that, it was Thunder. Yellow at the top.
The wrong way round.
As Thunder tries to look down the inside of... who's that?
Matson, I'm calling it.
I think that's Milkovic.
It is Milkovic.
And we look back now then from Thunder at the other Ingram of Downton. Thunder looks to the inside of Milkovic into the final chicane. Is he going to make the move? He is. He's down the inside. He's made it stick, but Milkovic is coming back along the pit straight. Ruiz leads at the end of the first lap then, setting the fastest lap along with it. Enzo Domenicali is just second back into 2nd place. But this is the closest battle on track at the moment. Thunder versus Milkovic for 8th.
Yeah, for 8th, I think. But I think that just clipping that curve on the inside on the final chicane just upset his momentum and meant he couldn't actually get up to speed on the next straight.
Yeah, as we see a puff of dust from someone in front.
But don't forget, the track is right up next to the grass and things like that, and the gravel, so it's going to throw up quite a lot of dust and dirt through the race.
Absolutely, one of the few racetracks that is still like this.
Yes, and
it's quite impressive given the close walls.
Yeah. It's actually, you know, a lot of people regard it as quite an easy circuit, but...
I was just going to say, Thunder's through past Milkovic.
Oh, good spot.
So Marcus Thunder then, up into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10th place.
Now he's got to catch his teammate in, 7th. No, 8th, 9th.
We got there eventually. Henri's? Yes, Henri's. No, Enrique Ruiz. We're going to look at the start on board with Adrian Simon then. So he gets a
superior Liverpool driver
down the inside of... That was Wagner, wasn't it? And then just around the outside in turn 2 and holds it beautifully.
Well, actually, around the outside of turn 2, it's actually a better traction zone than the inside because you got more space to run the car out wide and straighten the wheel out earlier. So that'll probably be how he managed to get past, because you just get a superior drive. Absolutely,
and Wagner would have been careful into turn 1. Let's not forget, he has a huge championship lead, and he's not just going to throw that away.
No, I think the way he sees it is he's comfortably in front of anyone, let alone Ruiz, who at the start of the season we all thought was his only competition. So he's just going to be trying to take it easy, pick up as many points as he can, obviously, but at the same time not take too many risks.
Absolutely, as we go on board then with Will Hoskins following Elroy Wagner in the car that he was driving last year. I think that's the closest been to him all season. And it is Kip Maxwell down the inside of Hoskins at the hairpin then, and they're side by side as they run down the back straight.
They're still wheel to wheel, so it's going to be settled in the braking zone, I think.
Absolutely. Maxwell will have the inside line, but Hoskins has the racing line. And Maxwell backs out.
Him out. Enrique Ruiz sets the fastest lap there, the 1:19.471.
As we go on board with Hiroto Nakamaya going around the outside of Stuart Harrison, but not quite making it.
Couldn't quite make the move stick there. Harrison just squeezed him out a little bit. Said, if you don't back out, you're going in the wall, buddy.
Absolutely. So,
but you're a professional.
Where I am.
You're in Canada, Bradley.
Of course, we're watching Felix Bayer.
Hey. Professionalism is real.
Again, back on board with Will Hoskins then.
Once again chasing Elroy Wagner.
Yeah, he doesn't look to have closed or fallen back at all. I'm just wondering whether Simon's slightly holding these guys up a little bit there. They're falling away ever so slightly from the Rossies in front.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, we'd expect the Franklin to have much better pace than that, not being caught by a Westwood.
I know, but then the Franklin has struggled in traffic all season.
This is true. We're seeing Thunder and Powers going wheel to wheel, or not.
Yeah, and Thunder in the slipstream of his teammate then. Is he going to make a dive into the final corner? He is! Thunder's gone for it on his teammate! Powers has to cut the corner.
Well, Thunder cut the first part of the chicane to begin with, so I'd say that's even Stevens.
Yeah, honours even at Downton then. They both gain a little bit thanks to that. just keep doing that, boys, every lap.
Or maybe if they probably lost a little bit by braking earlier in order to go side by side. Just to break it down from there. Sorry to be a spoil sport.
It's
not really.
As we jump on board then with 5th placed Elroy Wagner, who's still stuck behind Adrian Simon but struggling to find a way past the Liverpool.
Yeah, I mean, as you said earlier, the Franklins have been struggling to make their way through traffic this season, but I think Wagner seems to be particularly struggling here.
Yeah, definitely. We've noticed that more as well. Ruiz, I mean, look at that. Ruiz is gone.
But look at that split between the Rossies as well.
Yeah, that's quite a big gap between the two, who were just 0.003 of a second apart in qualifying.
So maybe, I don't know, one of them just put in a really good lap in qualifying, and this is more representative of their true pace? No idea.
But then Domenicali's ahead, and, well, based on this season, that's no surprise, but on previous seasons, that's a huge shock.
Domenicali has actually been kicking his ass this season, you're right, so...
Yeah,
no, bluntly. He's a talented driver, he's very young as well, still got a lot to learn, a lot to... He'll go a long way, I reckon, and I wouldn't be surprised if he wins a championship, even though he's only just actually picked up his first race win. But he's definitely one to look out for as he keeps improving his racing. He has, but
would you say Giordano struggled a bit this season? I mean, you know, the past 2 years he's had the beating of Domenicali.
I'd say had the beating of would be a compliment to Domenicali.
And he's also, but this year, you know, he's been behind Domenicali, and in some races he's been well behind Domenicali. Like now at the moment, we're only 6 laps in, but that's a good gap. There's a 4-way scrap behind.
Or not. So to cut across you there, Bradley.
That's all right.
But now Hoskins has got a run on Wagner, I think.
I was just going to say, I'll hold that conversation back for later, because we could be looking at an overtake here. Wagner looking to the inside of Simon into the final chicane. Hoskins looking to follow Simon through.
Blocked.
But he's not going to do it. Is Wagner going to drive around the outside? They're going to go wheel to wheel down the straight. No, they're not.
They're running 3 cars, line astern though. This could be interesting.
Absolutely, as Hoskins so nearly gets into the back of Elroy Wagner.
Right on his gearbox there, giving him a little hurry up there, English.
Yeah, that
giving
one.
Him a little hurry up through turn 1 there.
I just noticed behind, the 2 Downtons look as though they're being caught by, well, pretty much everyone else.
Surprise!
Oh!
Oops. Shots fired much. Hey, look at how close those, what is that, 5 drivers?
Yeah, even Maxwell and Kinnaman are on the back of this pack now, so I wonder if Simon's just struggling in these early laps.
Sorry, if you wonder if who is struggling?
Simon.
That's not what you said.
That's totally what I said.
You didn't say Simon. You said something else.
Look at that Canadian flag.
It's a nice flag, isn't it?
With the wonderful Intel logos. There are other companies out there. Yeah, we're not the BBC,
sure?
it doesn't matter.
Oh, Michelin.
It's fine,
yeah.
we're not the BBC.
Ha! What a joke.
As Ruiz sets another fastest lap then, as he continues to pull away at the front of this race.
It looks like the scrapping between these three has finished for now, so... But they'll all be trying to, you know, just wait around and perhaps force the other into a mistake. Who knows?
Yeah, absolutely. Just going back to the Rossis. I'm saying obviously, I think Giordano struggled in the last 2 years. He's more than had the beating of Domenicali, but this year he's been beaten sometimes by quite a bit, and he's also had the odd really poor result. Domenicali hasn't.
Domenicali's been really consistent, but then Domenicali's always been really consistent.
I think this is a retirement for Stuart Harrison. Yeah, just trundles into the pit lane then. I just saw the DNF at the top of the screen.
Yeah, it's not sounding healthy at all.
No, so Stuart Harrison sadly out of this race after just 8 laps then. But yeah, carry on.
I forgot what I was saying.
We were talking about Rossi.
Yes, what you got to remember is Domenicali's actually been quite a consistent driver for Rossi. He has, you know, been constantly putting in the same results. It's just they've not been very good ones. Whereas this season he seems to have upped his game, or maybe found something with the different handling system of the V12s and the new high-nose chassis. But he seems to be really having the beating of his teammate. He's consistent and he seems to be finding the pace.
Absolutely. As far as I'm aware, Domenicali, who has finished every race so far this season, let's not forget, has been in the top 6 in every race.
I think Wagner's the only other driver to have that record.
Yes, because Adrian Simon had a 7th place somewhere, if I remember rightly.
And Beckenbauer, I think, was on for it, but obviously now with his departure...
Yeah, and Beckenbauer had a couple of retirements as well.
Yeah. Surprised, actually, because I was wondering where he was, because I was under the impression that he was coming straight to Warrior.
No, the deal with Warrior is to start at the Dutch V-Prix.
Ah,
so,
okay.
I suppose Beckenbauer's on a beach somewhere at the moment. Wagner looks to the inside of
just loving life.
Simon at the hairpin. It's not a chicane, it's a hairpin.
It is a hairpin, not a chicane, Bradley. But that's allowed Hoskins to... Oh, wow, look at that run.
Yeah, look at the run Wagner's got now down the straight. But I don't think he's going to be able to do anything with it because he's placed his car at the wrong position. Look at Hoskins down the inside. He's all over the curbs. And he's going to be so lucky to avoid the ball. They've just got caught on one another. What's that going to do? Just let Maxwell through.
Pass both of them. Got to say, that's quite appalling there from Elroy Wagner. He should have been more aware of Hoskins on the on the outside of that part of the corner. But that's definitely, well, I don't know. I don't think Hoskins is going to be too happy about that. And I know the Westwood team won't be.
That was so much a racing incident. Hoskins was well over the curb on the inside there. Look, we're going to go on board with him now.
Yeah, but
he down the inside. He's so over the curb and out of control.
But if you
He's already placed himself well on the outside to nearly put himself in the Wall of Champions.
But he was giving Wagner plenty of room on the inside, and Wagner still felt it necessary to squeeze him. And if you look at his wheel, he only moves to the inside to respond to Wagner's movement to the inside.
Yes, but even so, jumping curbs is pushing it a little.
Your drivers seem to do it plenty.
Yes, but they shouldn't.
No drivers
I have told them.
We don't want to see drivers cutting corners, we want to see them racing properly.
Absolutely. But, so it's on as even still at the moment then, but look how Adrian Simon's broken away now at the front.
Yeah, so maybe that I don't know, maybe that, there. Maybe Wagner was maybe pressuring him a little bit, and no, that wouldn't make any sense.
Well, yeah, now that pressure's been relieved, Simon's been able to get his head down.
Or it could just be because it's Maxwell behind him.
Are you suggesting that Kip Maxwell is slowing everyone else up?
I would never, yes. Tinneman's going noticeably slower since that incident as well, so maybe he was actually being somehow pulled along by the toe or something of Maxwell, but I doubt that very highly.
Who did you... Tinneman, did you say?
Tinneman, look at the amount he's dropped off.
Yeah, he has dropped off a little, but then, I mean, this whole group have closed up a bit now, because of, obviously, that incident. As Will Hoskins looks to the inside of Wagner again at the hairpin. They've touched in the middle of the corner, but they both look to have got away with it.
More interesting, though, to note, is that Wagner, even though he's not actually so close to the car ahead anymore, he's still struggling for pace, it seems. If you look at his lap times.
Yeah, certainly not strong. Compared to teammate Ruiz, he's really not strong.
No, but again, maybe that's because of the pressure from Hoskins following behind. Who's getting very feisty with the curbs.
He is, yeah. Hoskins is getting friendly with those curbs today.
I think he's a little bit unhappy about the way his previous attempt at an overtake ended, and he wants to make up that position again.
That's very possible. Up front, though, after just 11 laps, Enrique Ruiz is leading. He has a 9-second gap back to Dominicali, who himself has nearly 8 seconds back to his teammate.
So the top three have definitely spread out. Hang on, am I seeing Maxwell closing in on Simon?
Oh,
It must be a trick of the light.
No, it's not a trick of the light.
Very
Kip
possible.
Maxwell is genuinely closing in on Adrian Simon.
Well then, that could be an interesting battle to watch.
It could. Ooh, I thought we were going to see a lunge there from the fun.
So did I. He only just missed the rear end of that AMR.
But then, thinking about it, Kip could be on a lighter fuel load.
This is true. We don't know the strategies yet.
No, as Franklin team principal Jamie Franklin pointed out after the last race, their slow speed after the pit stops might not be down to tyres, it could be down to the fuel loads, which, if I'm honest, I'd completely forgotten about.
Yeah, I mean, it could be. Don't forget, obviously, we don't have all the telemetry and the information that the teams have. We're just going off of intuition and lucky guesses.
Yeah, that's very true. We don't know how much fuel is put into these cars at any point.
So it's definitely interesting to see the differences in pace and then see how different strategies unfold, because for all we know, the Westwoods could be running light on fuel.
Well, you know, from their pace at the moment, it would certainly seem like it, because they're never usually this quick.
They are recently. They've been definitely picking up some pace in the last few races.
They have, yeah. You got to hand it to them. Westwood in Silverstone were very, very quick as Ruiz sets another fastest lap.
Well, yeah,
and they were so unfortunate with the incidents that cost them the positions.
They were. I mean, not to be overly zealous about it, but I'm pretty sure that they were up there able to battle for podiums. Well, at least Hoskins was. So, definitely an increase in pace from the British team.
Yeah, definitely.
I think we saw Bayer trying to make a move stick on the Ingram of John Matson earlier. Hairpin, turn 10? Not turn 10, turn something.
Yeah, my monitors have just failed, so bear with me a second.
Ah, in that case, while Bradley's monitors have blinded him, I shall take you through what's happening. We are still following the battle between Maxwell, Wagner and Hoskins, the only difference being that Maxwell has now surpassed them both. They've all actually really closed up now, as we head down to turn... Oh, riding on board with Will Hoskins. I'm guessing that's turns 11 and 12, that's just a pure guess. And if you just... On the next straight we can just listen... Oh, that's quite a lunge there from Will Hoskins. He's up the inside of Wagner and he's taken the place. Fantastic move there, and he's taken 6th place.
Yeah, so as they accelerate out of that hairpin then, as Harry just called it, Will Hoskins is up into 6th place. Sick.
But he'll be chasing down Kit Maxwell now, which shouldn't be too difficult to dispose of.
Ooh. He's going to find you after this race.
I thought he was going to find me after last race. Be like David Coulthard or Michael Schumacher.
Yes, back in the Formula 1 series many, many years ago.
Ah, yes. You're going back quite a way with that one, though. So, some of the younger generation watching this might not remember that.
Oh, I'm having real technology problems today. Sorry, guys, bear with me.
Okay. I will once again take the reins here. Watching the battle between Thunder and Powers. Thunder behind his compatriot in... I'm going to go for it and say 11th place. 10th place. I love how your monitors are down, but you know that.
I have guys on the pit wall. I know where our boys are running.
Hoskins has made sorry to cut across you. Hoskins has just made a move on Maxwell. Moved himself up into 5th place. Hoskins, a man on a mission today. And now Maxwell's coming under pressure from Elroy Wagner, who initially looked like he dropped off a bit from the two, actually. Going into the final chicane, he makes a dive, he's all over the curb, and he can't make it stick. Maxwell has the better line. And that's actually allowing Kinnaman to now close in the gap just a little bit. Oh, almost a spin there from Wagner. Very desperate to get past Kit Maxwell, and down into turn 1, just left it a little bit too late to commit to a move, and Maxwell was already closing the door.
Yeah, right, I've just given it a kick. Hopefully that'll sort it out.
I'd like to think so. I mean, kicking things is the best way to get technology to work.
Oh, absolutely, everyone knows that.
I would know this, I'm a mechanic, so... well, I'm not a trained mechanic yet, but, you know, mine
Half a mechanic.
else. I'm not a half a mechanic, I'm about a quarter.
Oh, okay, fair enough. As we jump on board with Will Hoskins then, who is now chasing down Adrian Simon for 4th.
Yes, he is. Is he going to make another move? No, but he's right on his gearbox again.
Yeah, he nearly ran into him.
Almost. It's a good thing he's not Powers.
You mean it's a good thing that Simon isn't Powers?
Yep, that's what I meant.
Yes, because Hoskins had just run him off the road again.
It worked for him last time.
Well, it didn't, because he retired in the end.
Well, that was a completely irrelevant.
It's karma, though, you see.
And I think we're definitely having some problems up in the commentary box today, because my monitors have now failed me, so...
Oh, I wonder if there's a storm incoming that's playing havoc with us.
There just might be, Bradley. There just might be.
Well, I'm currently on board with Will Hoskins, following Adrian Simon for 4th place.
Well, that's a good thing for me, but now everything is playing up.
I've just tried giving it a kick. Or hitting F5. That worked.
But I need to move my mouse, and that's scrolling the screen, so I can look at all the lap times.
Well, yes, that would be something, as we get another fastest lap from Rico Ruiz then, and Hoskins down the inside of Simon at the hairpin, and he's taken another place. Will Hoskins up into 4th, and behind the two Downtons go side by side.
My monitor's still down, I am still working on it, but...
Yeah, that is indeed. Marcus Thunder through into 9th place past Nathaniel Powers, and now Maxwell's got a run on Simon into the final chicane. Maxwell's gone through into 6th, so Simon loses 2 places in 2 corners. Will Hoskins up to 4th, Kip Maxwell up to 5th.
Oh, yeah, no.
You sound like you're having some problems there. We've just got a replay now of Will Hoskins diving down the inside of Adrian Simon, and that was a very, very good move, but Simon left the door wide open.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't catch that, but, you know.
You wouldn't with the broken monitor. How's it going?
It's going slowly. I'm just going to go away from the screen for a bit to see if I can find the problem elsewhere.
Okie dokie.
So if you want to take this one away, Bradley?
Yeah, let me know when it comes back up, and I'll let you know whereabouts I am in the race.
Oh, you'll know, because I will be as loud and as obnoxious as ever.
So, Harry will be back in a moment. We can always send him outside as well, just to see if it's gonna.
Stop doing this to me.
Apparently, he's still here.
So my mic told me that I had muted. So that's great. Okay, for realsies this time.
As we go on board then with Elroy Wagner, and he is now chasing down Adrian Simon, who has lost a couple of places in these last few laps. So it'll be interesting to see if Wagner, who has struggled to make an overtake so far this race, is able to get through or not. But right behind them is Timo Kinnaman, so Simon really coming under some pressure now, and maybe on a heavier fuel load, and that's the reason he's struggling at the moment. But Elroy Wagner behind, still pressuring then. Actually back to the order they were running earlier in the race, isn't it? But, well, up front, the order is still what it was earlier in the race. Ruiz is leading with a gap of now 16 seconds back to Enzo Domenicali, and another fastest lap from Ruiz. Puccio Giordano now nearly 30 seconds off the lead of the race after just 20 laps. So really struggling there. Well, not struggling, but Ruiz is just absolutely on it. And he has been all weekend, to be fair. But as we go on board with Wagner then, still closing on Simon, but not enough to be able to make a move or anything. And Kinnaman, and now that Thunder behind has passed his teammate, he's starting to close in on these guys slightly.
Hello.
Hello, you're back.
I am back. What lap are we on?
We are on lap 20. 26 minutes now.
Oh wow, okay. I was about, 6 minutes off.
I'm going to be sorry. I'm just going to say sorry now, putting the time out there. But, we're both having problems up here, so we'd like to try and get back in sync.
Are they just at the hairpin?
I'm at 26, 23, 4, 5, 6.
Okay, I'm finding it.
Are you there? We've just got Adrian Simon leading Elroy Wagner into the hairpin now on lap. Well, it's got 21 at the lap counter, but I think that's because Ruiz has just started that.
Yep, we're about at the same place. Here we go.
Oh, this is the replay then of Thunder on his teammate, so that almost looked orchestrated.
Almost, but I don't know. Who would know that but you, Bradley? Nobody can know if that was orchestrated or not.
Well, I'm going to be honest, I'm a little confused, because I'm sat here and I didn't orchestrate that.
Did you not just send like a cheeky little text?
No. So I'm wondering if maybe my deputy team principal has had a word.
Could have.
But either way, Thunder looks quicker, so I'm not gonna complain.
Look at the amount Thunder has been catching the guys in front though.
This is exactly my point.
We could be about to see a very tasty scrap between Marcus Thunder and Timo Kinnaman.
Oh, as we see, I think that's Ruiz lapping back markers and getting ever so slightly blocked once again. As
ever so slightly.
Abel Ersterhagen nearly
very close there.
Right into the back of Judson's Sykes.
That was a little bit too close for comfort, I think.
Yeah, just slightly, and that is indeed Ruiz having put a lap on those guys, but thankfully he's so far ahead of anyone else, it doesn't matter that he gets held up.
Nope, he could get held up, for enough time for a tea and a biscuit, and I don't think I still don't think he'd be that fast.
No. To be honest, nor do I. As we were watching Wagner, we're now watching the two warriors battling Judson Sykes towards the back of the field.
Towards the back of the field or at the back of the field?
I didn't want to say that, but yes. We have Sykes leading Ersterhagen and Harding in a battle to basically avoid last place.
No wonder Warrior are losing it. Ladies and gentlemen, I am in a very savage mood today, so don't be surprised if your team or driver gets roasted.
Oh dear. As we go on board with Elroy Wagner as he completes the first sector.
All over the grass there, mate. You want the car out of the way too wide. I will be normal now.
That'd be a first.
Oh!
Oh, as Ruiz sets another fastest lap then, as he starts lap 73 of this race. No, it's not 73.
It's 23. If it was lap 73, I think the teams need to get onto the radio to their drivers, telling them to stop, because the race is over, guys.
It's been a long day, guys, I'm sorry.
I can understand that. And I'm sure our audience can as well. But I'm excited for the battle between Kinnaman and Thunder that's about to go down, which is just behind the car we're viewing, Wagner.
And there we go, there we see it then. And we've got Marcus Thunder now pretty much right up Timo Kinnaman's gearbox.
Indeed. Wait, we're not using gearbox as a euphemism, are we?
No, no.
Okay, that's good. That's really good.
No, we got told off for that last time.
We did. Although I do really want to make a joke about it now, but I do not believe I'm in any position to, given the complaints last time.
We shall go back. Yes, and then did you see that? A whole 3,000 people complained.
Yeah.
I was quite impressed 3,000 people watched.
Doing that I thought. Yeah. Oh, still, it's good for the series to get some exposure.
It is, yes, you know.
And who better to expose it than us?
That was terrible. As they say, any publicity. Any publicity is good publicity.
Yes, any publicity is good publicity.
Sod off.
You are.
As we watch then, this battle between Adrian Simon is leading with Wagner, Kinnaman and Thunder all involved for, I'm going to take a stab and say 6th.
Where did Maxwell go? Oh, he's up the road. What? That doesn't make sense.
Maxwell has vanished.
Not such a shame then.
No, I think he's Maxwell's past Hoskins. Oh, Hoskins is pitted.
That would explain why he's passed then.
I did think we were just looking at Simon and seeing Maxwell in front. I didn't think there was a Westwood, and we just saw there that's not Timo Kinnaman, Will Hoskins in the pits.
Ah, so
where's he going to feed out?
Right behind the Ingrams, I believe.
And you are spot on.
Banging mush.
Yeah, but to be fair, you know, you've got like apps and stuff that tell you. Because you sit on a sophisticated pit. Well, you don't, but you have a team that do.
It was actually just a guess.
Well,
I just saw Ingrams. Oh, I'm getting a text now. And yeah, that's important teamy stuff and informations and issues.
Of course it is. Let's go back to the racing. We see so Marcus Thunder, ever since passing his teammate then, has pulled away from Powers, and Powers now struggling to defend from the two Ingrams as we Thunder looks as though he's got a slight run on Kinnaman here into the final chicane.
He's, you know, not quite brave enough to make a move under braking there.
No.
Maybe not confident of the car, or I don't know, too slippy around, or maybe it's just too bumpy around that braking zone.
Yeah, it's very possible. Just thinking back, that's quite an early stop for Will Hoskins.
Yeah, I mean, I think that would probably be around the window for a 2-stop, but most of the drivers here, I would think, would be going for a 1-stop, because the track isn't notoriously hard on your tyres, and we've only seen it rarely before, where this is a V-Prix apparently, a V-Prix.
Yay!
We've seen Grand Prix only very rarely won by doing more pit stops at this track. I feel like I spent so long trying to say V-Prix that the actual point I was trying to make just got completely negated.
That's fine, it happens.
Yeah. Once again, we're seeing Hoskins, I think, has dropped back from the Ingrams. So once again, we're seeing the problem where the drivers just can't quite get their cars up to pace after their pit stops.
Yes, but then, as Jamie Franklin pointed out, that could be a heavy fuel load.
Just how I didn't say anything about tyres.
Ah, yes, this is a very good point.
I left it open to interpretation.
Interpretation?
Interpretation.
Ah, yes, that one.
As we watch.
That's not bad actually from Hoskins. He's come out the pits. He's still in 12th place.
Yeah, which is unusual for a Westwood. Encouraging.
Yeah, they're usually much lower.
You'd know all about lower, wouldn't you, Bradley?
No, my cars have been in the points for the last
7-8 races. Show off.
We still have just the one retirement then at the moment. Stuart Harrison, who...
Oh, here we go. Now you've done it.
I do this every race. Why?
We've only had one retirement, he says. Next thing you know, they're dropping like flies.
Well, it might liven it up a bit.
It would, because I think we've reached a bit of a lull in the V-Prix.
Yeah, to be fair, for a Canadian V-Prix, this is... I mean, up till now, it's been... The first bit was okay.
I think we can take this opportunity to talk about the growing feud between First and Meteor.
Yes, actually, that is a top-notch idea.
Want to take it away?
Well, I was going to say, do you want to run through the backstory?
Well, I would be more than happy to, Bradley.
Once upon a time.
Well, speaking of, there's a Meteor of Hutchinson in the pits.
There is indeed. And there's not more people coming into the pits. Never
Nope.
mind.
Anyway, so after Meteor chose not to re-sign Arden Hutchinson for the next season, they've now gone back on that and claimed that Hutchinson was actually involved in some long-term development plans with the team, and feel quite betrayed by the driver. I don't know how old he is. By the driver.
Let's go with 26.
But quite betrayed by the 26-year-old. Apologies if that's a wrong statistic. Following his move to First, the new All-American team that will be making the grid next year.
And that was the other thing that that the two team principals disagreed on, wasn't it?
Yes. With Adam Blocker quotedly calling Meteor a false American team. Quite big words for someone who hasn't completed a single V-Prix yet.
Yeah, but...
It's nice to see someone come in with some guts, though.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Rather than before, where we've had it with new teams, where they've come in, they've definitely added to the series, but they've not really come in and made any rivals. Bam, this guy's straight in, and he's making himself some enemies.
Yeah, well, I think so far we haven't really had any huge rival teams. I mean, you've got Franklin and Mathershaw currently running as Liverpool, next season running as DS up the front, and they've been battling on track, but behind the scenes, or at least off track, it's all been relatively pleasant between them.
It has. This is the first time we've...
I was just going to say, I think that can be said for all teams, really.
Yeah. I mean, there was that friendly rivalry between Lucas and Westwood before Lucas sadly just seemed to drop off the face of the planet.
Yes, but we all, I think I echo the sentiments of everyone in the Formula Virtual Paddock when we say that we hope he and everyone around him is okay, and that it's purely
work related. As we see a Mathershaw, now that's what you got me doing. A Liverpool of Adrian Simon in the pits, I believe.
Do you know, I'm tempted to say that might be Maxwell.
Here we go, we'll find out. Let's see.
No, actually, I think you're right. It had the number 21 on the rear wing.
Yeah, I'm correct.
No, it is not. It is Maxwell, because that's Simon, still with Wagner behind him.
Diddly darn it.
And yes, of course, 21 would be Maxwell, because he's taken over Beckenbauer's car, hasn't he?
Yes.
As Ruiz pits from the lead then.
He'll come out in the lead. Probably.
Well, he should do.
It's only a short pit lane here. Pit stops take about, what, 15, 17 seconds, depending on the fuel load?
Yeah, obviously, as you said, depends on how much fuel goes into the car. But I think it would be more of a surprise to see Ruiz lose the lead. And Ruiz has lost the lead.
Only just, though. But if you look, Hoskins has actually maintained position ahead of Kip Maxwell there.
He has in the pit stops, and he's now just a second behind John Matson, so...
Maybe the pace is coming back to him a little bit in the car there. That is a very slow Domenicali through that corner.
Yeah, obviously, as you said, depends on how much fuel goes into the car. But I think it would be more of a surprise to see Ruiz lose the lead. And Ruiz has lost the lead.
Or is that just the way he takes it normally?
That's a bit harsh.
It just, his engine sounded...
Dominicali's taking it slow. What does it say for everyone else?
I don't know, but that suddenly made me really sad about my own drivers. But Felix Bayer is also trying to be all over the rear wing of Will Hoskins, but
he's not all over the rear wing as much as Romano Agostino is on Arden Hutchinson.
Yeah, this could be interesting.
And Agostino is diving to the inside. They're going to go side by side.
Once again,
Agostino backs out of it.
We're seeing that a lot this Grand Prix, where the inside line for the first part of the chicane seems to be the more beneficial route to begin with. But then as you get to the second part of the corner, they can't get the stability in the drive to actually...
Oh, sorry to cut across you, but we've got Warriors in the way again.
Wagner's been massively held up there by those Warriors.
And now Thunder's being involved by the two of them as well.
Oh, shame. That's Kinnaman, what am I talking about? That's Hoskins. I totally know who my drivers are. Like, I'm a professionalist.
Yes, of course. But just to note, those two Warriors then, were they not just a couple of laps ago right up with Judson Sykes?
They were. They were battling for last place. But I did see an Ocelot hit the pits recently.
Yes, but Sykes is still ahead of them in the standings.
Wow.
Oh, Dominicali's pitted from the lead then and come back out in third place, so Ruiz is back into the lead of this V-Prix then.
Yeah, with Giordano in second place, but is that a 20-second gap between them? Or a 10?
Between who and who?
Domenicali and Giordano.
Probably 10.
Yes, it's a 10, I think. I'm not sure.
Might how a 1 looks like a 2, I don't know. As we see a Warrior getting... I suppose he got out of the way better than he has been. Oh, Hoskins up the inside.
That's
and he's
very
over the curb. There's been contact. That's Hoskins and on Jean Matson then. So these two have battled before, more towards the front of the field. But, hey.
And Matson, gives Hoskins a bit of a shove through the next corner. Not undeserved, I'd say. Hoskins was a little bit aggressive over the curbs there.
He was, but then he has been all race.
True. Worth noting, however, that Hoskins is almost back in the points already, and he's the only driver to have made a pit stop who's out and over there.
Yes, as into the pits comes Marcus Thunder.
I just remembered he wasn't the only driver to make a pit stop, because you've also got Maxwell and Dwyer and Hutchinson.
And Ruiz and Dominicali.
And now Powers.
Thunder.
Same person, different person. And I think Thunder has actually come out ahead of Hoskins.
No, he hasn't. He's behind Kip.
Oh.
By 8 seconds.
Oh, wow. That's terrible.
Not really. He was that far back before.
Oh, yeah.
Not that that's a good thing, but, you know, that in itself is terrible.
Give him a break. He's driving a Downton.
Ooh. As we go on board then with Romano Agostino, who is still chasing down Arden Hutchinson.
Look at that rad helmet, dude. Sick. It's like a shark's mouth.
What?
Romano Agostino's helmet. It's really colourful and stuff. His helmet looks like a shark's mouth. You didn't even say his helmet looks like a shark's head.
Right, okay.
The younger ones won't get that one.
Oh, this is on board with Milkovic.
That's a bit aggressive, some wheel banging there, but look at how the Westwood pulls away on power alone. Yeah, no, there's no covering that up.
I think he had more momentum, he took more pace around the corner.
He did, and he also, got rid of some of Matson's by clonking his wheels.
Yeah, very true. As we go back to watching Elroy Wagner hunting down Adrian Simon for what is still 4th place.
Yes, it is, because, pit stops. So I'm wondering whether some of these drivers are going to be going for 2 stops, the ones that have already pitted, or they're going to try and stretch it all the way to a 1 stop. Could be interesting to see.
I think for those that have pitted already, that'll be very touch and go if they're trying to aim for a one-stop.
I say Hoskins is more than likely on a two-stop, given the fact that he pitted on lap 24. But, yeah, I'd say it'd be quite close, so it'd be interesting to see if they can either make that stick, or if they have to, at the last second, kind of emergency convert to a two-stop.
Yeah, definitely, but I don't see any way for Hoskins to make it to the end.
Oh, God, no. What would that be, 46 laps? That's quite a lot on one set of tyres.
I'm devastated it took me that long to calculate that.
But I thought you did something to do with maths.
That's not the point. As we go on board with Judson Sykes then, who, to be fair, for the second race in a row, is somewhat struggling.
Don't forget, of course, Dwyer's already made his pit stop, so that means he's got effectively 17 seconds down on his teammate.
That makes it even worse.
Yes, it does.
But, in Sykes' defence, here is Dwyer's home track. Last time out in Britain was Parsons' home track. So, both his teammates in the last two races have had home advantage. Sykes as a Russian doesn't get that.
No. We don't have a Russian V-Prix, do we?
No, we don't. You should know the calendar.
Yes, we should. Sorry that my voice sounds a little strange. I just clicked my knee and it was extraordinarily painful.
Well, that was a silly thing to do.
I didn't do it on purpose.
As we watch then, Judson Sykes just following his teammate for now, doesn't seem to be making a move, but then with Dwyer having pitted and himself having not, I don't suppose there would be any need to make a move or any point, really.
Or do anything, really.
Well, he can continue driving.
Oh yeah, I forgot that. Oh, no, I meant that, you big silly.
As we reach the halfway mark of this V-Prix then, we've got Enrique Ruiz still leading after his first pit stop. I'm totally not playing for time and waiting for the results.
We've got Giordano 11 seconds behind, who's not made a pit stop, with Domenicali another 12 seconds behind him, having made his first pit stop. And as the thing rolls around, you can continue rolling off the order.
Yeah, we have Ruiz leading. You were nearly there. 12.5 seconds behind is Giordano in second.
You're gonna really do that over half a second?
Domenicali 14 seconds behind Giordano in third place, and then Adrian Simon, Elroy Wagner in 5th, Timo Kinnaman 6th, Nathaniel Powers 7th, Milkovic 8th, Hoskins back up to 9th, and John Matson is in 10th. So Hoskins has passed Matson on track somewhere. Did he do that a while ago?
Yes, he did. That was the wheel banging incident at the chicane where he basically clonked him out of the way.
So that wheel banging incident that I called many times over as Milkovic was actually John Matson.
Oh. Did you call it Milkovic? I probably
Yes.
wasn't listening to you.
That'd be a first.
Sure it would. I totally listen to you all the time.
Yeah, that was sarcasm.
I sarcasmed you back.
Oh, very good. Are these three catching I was going to say Giordicali.
Giordicali. Bradley, go home. You're drunk.
But I can't. I'm many, many thousands of miles away.
Well, go back to your hotel room. You're drunk.
I'm not. I didn't have anything last night. Anyway,
But
racing.
This morning. Is that Domenicali? Is that Giordano? No, it would be Domenicali.
Giordano hasn't pitted yet.
Can we just point out though? The
You can point out what you like.
Oh yay! Oh yeah, I have the ability to do that. I'm a commentator now. Well,
Yes.
I have been for about a year and a bit.
Yes.
But Kinnaman in the Westwood is doing quite a good job to stay with the guys up front. Because you think you got Franklin, Liverpool, and Rossi, regarded as the top three teams on the grid,
Easily at the moment. Easily.
and yet Kinnaman is staying with them. He's a bit off, yeah, but he's staying with them.
In fact, both Westwoods throughout the race have been staying with them.
So could we see the Westwards breaking into the top 3 teams? I wouldn't want to get too ahead of myself there, but they've definitely been on the pace this race and last race, challenging for a podium last race almost, before some unfortunate incidents. Their pace the race before that was pretty strong.
Yeah, so we could certainly see it. I think I've seen a lot of new bits on the Westwood in recent races.
Some very aggressive R&D.
So I think they're developing quite heavily, but I think the big thing for them was whether they can sustain it.
Yeah, and I think for the first time they've actually, in their history, they've actually got 2, fairly decent drivers that actually have experience. In fact, Hoskins and Kinnaman are 2 of the only 7 or 6 drivers to have competed in every V-Prix.
They are indeed, yes.
So they're 2 of the most experienced drivers on the grid.
Hugh Dwyer was part of that little group as well until
the last race.
Last time out.
Yeah, it's down to 6 now, isn't it?
No.
Yes.
Wagner,
Hoskins, Kinnaman, Agostino. No, not Agostino.
No, Agostino hasn't done every race. Davenport
has.
Howers,
Domenicali and Giordano.
Let's run through.
No, not Domenicali.
Giordano, Domenicali hasn't.
No.
Simon has. Wagner has. Kinnaman has. Howers has. Hoskins has. Matson missed a couple of races last year.
No, yeah, that's all. That's
Davenport.
So 7. You were right. My mistake.
Yes, never question me. I'm always right.
Okay, Sensei. Riding on board with Adrian Simon, following Domenicali quite closely after the Italian's first pit stop, but don't forget the 3 behind him still have yet to pit.
Yes, and we're over halfway into this race now. In fact, there's only 31 laps to go.
So you'd expect these guys to be on a 1-stop for sure.
Oh, most definitely.
But now they're getting very close going into turn 4. Yes, turns 4 and 5.
I just wanted to see if you could count.
Oh, we know I can't count. That's out of the question.
So I'm surprised we haven't, because I mean I'd say these guys are being held up by Domenicali ever so slightly now, who is dropping time to Ruiz. He's lost 3 seconds in the last few laps, and there we go. Giordano, no.
And Kinnaman's making a move on Wagner, but he can't quite make it stick.
Yeah, but what I was going to say is Simon is down the inside of Domenicali and through into 3rd place.
Well, you would be correct in saying that, Bradley.
And not Hoskins, Wagner looking for a run now as well.
But he can't quite find a gap, so he just tucks him behind Domenicali. And he's probably just going to try again next lap, really.
Yeah, but look at the gap that Simon has pulled out already on the Italian.
Yeah, Domenicali.
Although now he's stuck behind a Warrior. Oh, Wagner spun!
And then Kinnaman's just gone straight into him.
Yeah, and that's collected Kinnaman.
That's Powers. Oh, Powers almost got
oh, and Wagner's in the air.
What's happening there? I haven't seen. Oh, that sounded heavy. You heard that, right?
Yeah, and they're in the wall. So we have
Powers without a front wing.
Yeah, so Nathaniel Powers has lost his front wing there, put in the wall by Elroy Wagner, and he will not be amused with that.
He won't be happy about that at all. You're absolutely right.
So I hope we get a replay of what went on there then. Oh man, look at that.
What are you, a commentary god?
Very good, director. So Wagner just gets down on the inside of Domenicali and just catches his wheel and spins. And then as he pulls away, we're going to go on board with Powers and see what happens then. So they just get locked in ever so slightly. Okay, I can't really blame Wagner for that. Oh, Wagner's lost, just a bit of his front wing.
Like the M plate, not lost a lot else, but that's definitely going to throw a spanner in the works there for Downton, and it's definitely played into the hands of Westwood as well, who've collectively gained 2 positions.
Yeah, so you'd expect Powers to dive into the pits this lap, and there he goes. But Elroy Wagner's lost a lot of places.
And now we're seeing Hoskins trying to get around the warrior of, I want to say, Osterhagen without any incident.
Hold up. That's Hoskins. Just up the road is Kinnaman. Hoskins is pitted.
You are actually correct.
Hoskins is absolutely flying.
He is. And don't forget, we've still got to see pit stops from the likes of Simon and Simon.
And Kinnaman.
And Giordano. Giordano also needs to pit. And Wagner needs to pit.
Yeah, but then let's not forget, as do the two Ingrams of Milkovic and Matson. But let's not forget, Hoskins also has to make a second stop.
This is true. So that'll probably be why he's lapping so quickly, because he's got a lower fuel load.
Yeah, spot on. And Nathaniel Powers after that. Oh, who's this? This is on board with Osterhagen.
That's one way to go about that corner.
I think he might have some braking problems.
Looks like it. The rear of the car just, yeah, look at those brakes glowing there.
Yeah, so I think that is Abel Osterhagen becoming our second retirement here in Canada.
Wow. So, not that high of an attrition rate at this race, actually.
Oh, now you've done it as well.
It's a shame if everyone in front of Kinnaman kind of, got taken out.
What, by Kinnaman?
Perhaps.
Yes,
he is finished, you never know.
Disqualified.
I just hope he can make it all the way to the finish.
Hey.
The pun is strong with this one.
Oh, that was crap.
Yes, it was. I want to watch your language for fear of, the complaints.
Oh yeah, well that'll have drawn in a good four.
He's just counting, I don't know, like 4 complaints with this swear, 7 with that one. So you probably have to use the C word for that.
Oh yes, we won't go there.
No, we're not going to use that word. I think if we use that word, we would not be allowed to do this again.
No, definitely. Alvaro Wagner, obviously with that incident, and now part of a missing front wing, he's fallen behind the Ingrams and just struggling. Been struggling the whole race.
Yeah, he's not looked on form. Sorry, I just burped.
Oh,
it's okay, it was on the inside of my throat.
Oh, one of those.
It's got a stib, it's like a sick and twisted inverted burp.
I don't like those, those are weird.
I love them.
Well, that says a lot.
Yeah, I'm a child.
Let's go back to Wagner.
Yes, Wagner chasing Milkovic for 9th place. Wait, I'm actually spot on. Wow. Yay!
Yeah, just a note, Nathaniel Powers, after his rather hasty pit stop because of the broken front wing, has come out just behind his teammate Thunder, as we see... Oh no, that's just Dominicali putting a lap on one of the Ocelots.
Yeah, is Hoskins actually catching up to Dominicali now? Well, he's now being held up by...
That's Kinnaman.
Wire. Oh yeah, Kinnaman, sorry, my mistake. Although Hoskins isn't too far behind.
Whoa, you're... Oh no. Adrian Simon is ahead of...
Dominicali. He's in second. Wait, Giordano must have pitted at some point.
Yeah, Giordano must have pitted and Simon must have passed Dominicali on track somewhere.
Yeah.
Because he was behind.
Oh, Hoskins has made a move on John Matson.
Hoskins is well up the road from John Matson.
Wait, I thought he'd... No,
No, that was
behind
that was so much earlier, because I called it as Milkovic when they collided.
Maybe he made it past Milkovic then, but he was behind in Ingram, and now he's behind his teammate.
Is it possible that Milkovic could have pitted?
It could be very possible that that's happened, Bradley, or I just missed it. I don't... It's just I don't see an Ingram.
As one of the Ocelots gets gets out of the way and then gets onto the grass and nearly loses it.
You big silly.
I think that was Judson Sykes, as he's going to have an Ingram.
Oh!
And a
Wagner's
wow.
Wow.
That was a brilliantly executed move from Elroy Wagner.
That was very opportunistic. That reminded me of Schumacher and Raikkonen at Spa in Formula 1.
Was it not Hakkinen?
Hakkinen, yes, not Raikkonen. Raikkonen was about 6 when that happened.
It was 2001, I believe, when they went either side of... This is going to test my knowledge.
Oh!
Wagner gets into one of the ocelots.
That's not really the best way to lap a car.
And that's Hugh Dwyer, and he was sideways there, and I think he's picked up a puncher.
He could have the right rear seems a bit down. No, it should be fine. But I think the team are probably going to want to bring him in to check the car anyway.
Yeah, certainly possible. Just going back to the Formula 1 race at Spa in what I believe was 2001, it was Hakkinen and Schumacher either side of Riccardo Zonta.
Wow, your Formula 1 knowledge is extensive.
I think. I might be totally wrong on that one.
I think you were safe with Schumacher and Hakkinen, but then you went out on a limb and said Zonta. And then suddenly... Okay, so I think that's Giordano behind Domenicali. I'm wrong.
You are wrong. It's Domenicali behind Giordano. It
was a 50-50.
It's actually Domenicali closing in on Puccio Giordano.
Oh.
So Domenicali, having pitted, is now looks like the quicker Rossi.
Yeah, but Giordano has pitted as well, and Domenicali
hasn't he?
Rossi all race.
So in that case, Domenicali must have made an error or another pit stop.
I think Timo Kinnaman might have made a pit stop, I'm not sure. He seems to have dropped back.
Yes, because he's just there in front of Thunder.
Yeah, but came out in 9th, so Elroy Wagner set the fastest lap.
Yeah, you beat him to it.
Sorry, just casually cut across you there.
That's absolutely fine.
Those two look rather lonely on that part of the track. Has Thunder pitted yet?
Yes.
Oh, so this is for actual... Oh, that's an Ingram there. I wonder who it could be.
Well, that'll be Matson then, because Milkovic pitted earlier.
Yeah, he did, so that will be
no
Matson.
one's...
Surprise? Or...
No, I was going to say no one's knowledge.
Oh. But look at Hoskins. I know he's on a 2-stop, but just look at the pace of him.
Yeah, and is that Elroy Wagner behind him?
Yep.
Oh yeah, but Wagner hasn't pitted yet, has he?
No, he has not. But then Hoskins does also have
again.
to pit again.
Wagner goes down the inside.
Oh, he's left the door wide open there. That's terrible. He's going to have to try and match him on the straight now. So
yeah, but we cut away.
Honda. We're not. We're seeing Westwood versus Downton because reasons.
Yeah, because that's more fun. We have two cars side by side. Come on, director. Oh, as we see Thunder go to the inside of Kinnaman and make the move that happen.
Why did you have to say that? Kinnaman was doing fine. Now he's lost a positional because of you big meanie.
Well, that's not my fault. Blame the director. He cut there. He must have known it was gonna... Oh my god, that director can see into the future.
He kind of was like, this is gonna happen now. So I'm gonna skip to it now.
So something must be about to happen now with Wagner.
Where is the Westwood of Hoskins?
Maybe he pitted again.
More than likely, it's just he's vanished.
So that's why he left the door open.
Could be.
Because he didn't want to risk Wagner coming around the outside of the final corner and being blocked off from going into the pit lane.
Smart.
I've just given your driver a viable reason for losing a position.
Yes, he must have pitted. He's back into 7th now.
That's still quite impressive after 2 pit stops.
Yeah, behind Adrian Simon, who... Has he pitted?
Yeah, Simon has pitted now.
But he's only 2 seconds behind Simon.
He is, yeah, so... Despite an extra pit stop, Will Hoskins is absolutely flying here in Montreal.
Yeah, I think it looks like more pit... Oh, as we see
there goes
Wagner going to the pits, so... This could be interesting to see where he feeds out. Is that a car horn?
I didn't hear anything.
That? I heard a car horn. Someone let me know if there was a car horn there. Shall I stop saying car horn?
I would.
Car horn.
Oh,
okay,
we've got Westerhagen out. Oh yeah, he retired, never mind.
Well done. You watched him retire. We both watched him retire.
Yes, I called him retiring with a brake failure.
No.
Oh well.
You tried, Bradley. You tried.
I did. As we are on lap 48 of this V-Prix then, Enrique Ruiz, potentially having made all of his pit stops, is leading by 47 seconds from Puccio Giordano. That's insane.
That's an average of a second a lap.
Third place is Dominicali, fourth is Maxwell, fifth is Simon, sixth is... Maxwell's fourth?
Wagner fed out behind Marcus Thunder and, importantly, behind Will Hoskins.
But in front of Timo Kinnaman.
Ah.
Sorry.
But Kinnaman isn't too far off.
No, he's not. Just a note, when Powers came out the pits, he was right behind his teammate, and now he's like 4 spots back.
Yeah, I stopped listening to you for a second there, Bradley.
That's fine. I was just saying, I'll repeat it.
Yay.
When Powers came out the pits, he was right behind his teammate, or at least he was in terms of position, but now he's like 4 spots back.
Maybe he made his pit stop later on. Or the next lap.
He already pitted.
Maybe he did another one.
He wouldn't have done another one. I only put him on a one-stop strategy.
You did what?
I put Powers on a one-stop strategy.
Huh. Nothing like revealing your strategy to the rest of the field.
Well, he's only made one stop, and it was well after the halfway point. I think it was pretty blooming obvious.
Oh.
Really? 2 races in a row?
It's okay, I think I'm good now. It tends to come in 2s or 3s.
Okay, that's weird.
I'm a weird person.
Well, you said it. Oh, we're going on board with John Matson.
No, Milkovic.
No, it's not. It's Matson. It's number 38.
But Milkovic with the Russian helmet. No, Milkovic has a black helmet.
No, he doesn't. Sykes has the black helmet.
So that was Milkovic.
It wasn't Milkovic, it was Matson.
It was Milkovic.
They both have very, very similar helmets because they both have the colours of their national flags, which for both of them are blue, red and white.
Oh yeah, I forgot this.
And it had number 38 on the front. It was John Matson. Trust me, I'm a doctor.
No, you're not.
No, I'm not. Trust me, I'm a commentator.
Okay, I can trust that.
And commentators, as I know from experience and as all you know from experience, commentators are never wrong. As we see Elroy Wagner leading the race.
Yes, we do, and we're right on board with... Hoskins has actually caught up to Simon now.
He was, but he was pretty much with him anyway.
Yeah, but he's properly caught up now, and he's made his pit stop.
He has. So Hoskins has made both his pit stops, so this is for position, and we see Judson Sykes pull off out of the race, and that is a suspension failure for Sykes, I believe.
Very unfortunate there, but...
Well, he's had a pretty crap race anyway, so it doesn't really matter, does it?
I was kind of about to make that point.
Oh, as we see the 2 Rossies go either side of one of the Warriors, I'm going to call that as Harding.
Oh, that was close. It was Harding, because Ersterhagen isn't driving anymore.
So I called it right.
Oh, yeah. But if you look, Hugh Dwyer 1 lap down, James Harding 3 laps down. 3 laps.
And driving very slowly. I wonder if Harding's having some problems in that car.
Or maybe that's just the Warriors' top speed. that was brutal. I'm sorry. Sorry, Dylan.
I'm sure he'll forgive you.
Oh, Hoskins has passed Simon somewhere on the track.
Oh, yes, so we'll hope to get a replay of that. And that is now Will Hoskins up into 5th place.
Yeah, go on, lad.
So this is on board with Dominicali, and that was how he moved back into 2nd place past Giordano then.
Very opportunistic. Again, we're seeing a lot of similar, a lot of moves like that where they just
use the back marker. That's what you were going to say, wasn't it? Is use the back marker.
Yes, that's exactly what I was going to say.
Good.
Thank you, Mr. Mindreader.
You're most welcome.
I thought you were going to call me something.
Huh?
I thought you were going to give me a name.
Harry?
Cool. Okay, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, this is Felix Bear chasing... it's not Hiroto Nakamaya. I don't run Hiroto Nakamaya. I run Daniel Powers.
Well, we could take this chance to talk about AMR and their recent performances. They've been a bit up and down this season. They've been generally consistent at the back of the points. The last few races, namely France, they really dropped off and they were really back where they started last season.
I'm just going to interrupt you ever so slightly. I just want to keep an eye on that gap between Maxwell and Hoskins. It's currently at 11 seconds, but Hoskins has put 2 seconds between himself and Adrian Simon already.
Wow,
so just
Hoskins is
just
a
a
man
gap
on a
I'm
mission.
going to keep an eye on. Carry on.
That's an excellent gap to try and watch. But yeah, no, AMR have been a bit all over the shop recently, and still running outside the points this race. So I think that while they had they showed promise in testing, and the start of the season was quite strong for them. I think they're just falling back a little bit in the development race, and that's showing in their pace.
Yeah, I think the big thing is their strongest race was in Spain when they picked up that the brilliant 4-5 result.
Oh yeah.
And since then they've scored a point.
Yeah, they've kind of been riding on their tails of Spain, really. That should be like the name of a film or an album.
Riding on the tails of Spain.
Yes.
No, I can't say it. But hey, you could always release one.
I will.
As we see, just up at the front, Dominicali's already pulled 2 seconds out over Puccio Giordano. Kip Maxwell is only 3 seconds behind the second Rossi car. Maxwell is 3 seconds away from a podium.
No.
Surely not.
No. I refuse to accept this.
Oh, you better accept it because it's happening. Powers is a lap down. Ouch.
Yeah, to be fair, a lot of people are a lap down, Bradley. Don't feel bad about it. Could be James Harding. Could be 3 laps down.
Yeah, but Warrior are struggling this season.
True. Riding on board once again with Felix Bayer. Not really any closer to Powers, not really any further back.
Just
nothing to report.
static.
Yeah, bit of a stalemate really in pace.
I think the directors suddenly developed a fondness for Dutchmen.
You might want to be careful how you word that.
Yes.
Okay, what's that gap between Hoskins and Waxwell at then?
Waxwell.
Waxwell. Damn it.
Good old Waxwell.
Someone's had a spin.
They have. And there he is, it's Harding.
Oh, that might be why he's 3 laps down.
That makes his day better.
Yeah. Well, at least he made it onto the cameras. Powers with a somewhat interesting line into that hairpin.
Yeah, I was just about to pick up on that. He sort of went down to the inside and then just sliced across to the inside line.
Yeah.
As though there was someone randomly coming down there, but there wasn't. As we see Marcus Thunder now all over Adrian Simon.
I think it's because Simon made a bit of a later pit stop. I don't know actually. I
just
honestly
taking a
don't
while
know.
to get up to speed.
Maybe. Because it seems that with these cars, they seem to have to try and get the cars back up to speed after a pit stop quite...
Oh, we've got a Westwood in the pits.
That's Kinnaman.
Is it indeed?
Yeah.
It is.
Hoskins is still... 70 even. What is Kinnaman doing in the pits? What is... No.
Oh, he's colliding with Harding on the way out of the pit lane. But luckily he's avoided it as Thunder goes down the inside of Simon for 6th. And the 2 Franklins. Ruiz has just lapped Wagner.
Oh, that is brilliant. But interesting why Kinnaman has pitted again, as I only put him on a 1-stop.
Maybe he picked up some damage or something.
Dunno. But either way...
and down the inside of Powers goes Bayer.
Oh, so Danton gain a position, then at the same corner, lose a position.
Yeah, so we're seeing all the action happening at the moment then. But can we just talk about that? Enrique Ruiz has just lapped his teammate.
Bearing in mind they're on the same strategy, they didn't qualify too far apart. So that's just showing just the form that Ruiz is on today.
And just how poor a race Elroy Wagner has had.
But don't forget, there was quite a big gap between Ruiz and Wagner last race.
Maxwell's 5/10 off a point. No, not off a point, off a podium.
He is.
He's there. That's the gap between 3rd place Puccio Giordano and 4th place Kip Maxwell, who is looking for his first ever podium in Formula V.
Don't speak too soon. There's still 15 laps to go.
Oh, there are, but come on, Kip.
Don't mind me, I'm just going to be away from the screen for a second.
That's absolutely fine. I'll call this then. on board with Kit Maxwell. He looks to the inside of Giordano at turn 1. They're wheel to wheel. They've actually touched. But Maxwell's going to go around the outside of turn 2. Can he make it stick? They're still side by side. We cut away to watch the westward of Will Hoskins. And now we're looking at Giordano. Maxwell's through. Maxwell is through into 3rd place.
I really hope Maxwell makes a pit stop now. It'd be funny. Not that I don't like Maxwell or anything. Like, I've got nothing against him. I just think he's terrible. However, this might be proving me wrong.
Wait, he's ahead of Adrian Simon.
He has had the beating of him.
Adrian Simon is currently
7th.
Well, yes, apart from 7th, he is currently the all-time highest point scorer.
Oh, that's quite a cool record.
It is, yes.
Riding on board
that was all I've got.
Felix Bayer. Now behind Nikolai Milkovic for a points scoring position.
Yeah, they're running in 9th and 10th? Or 10th and 11th? 10th and 11th.
Ooh, that was spooky. So...
Oh, there's a Franklin! Oh, that's not Ruiz again.
That's Ruiz.
Oh,
Ruiz.
Absolutely devastating then. That's Kit Maxwell in the pits.
Haha, I called it as well. Hang on a second, so if that is Ruiz...
Hang on,
no, it's
this
Wagner.
is on board with Wagner.
It's
not Ruiz! It's Elroy Wagner out of the race!
Wagner is
the championship leader has had an engine failure here in Canada, and despite having a poor race, he was still on for a point-scoring finish. But Elroy Wagner is out of the Canadian V-Prix and will score no points. He won't lose the championship lead. He's still miles ahead, but that is absolutely huge if Ruiz can hold on for the win and Dominicali for 2nd.
And also, just while you're saying that, Felix Bayer puts a cracking move there on Nikolai Milkovic. So it's all happening. And now are we going to see a bunch of late pit stops again? Because we saw that in Britain, in Silverstone.
Yeah.
Not all the teams confirmed what the reason was. Sorry to cut across you there.
No, that's fine. I was just going to say that's Davenport. But you could see that anyway.
Yes, I could. I totally knew that. But yeah, no, we could be seeing a late spree of pit stops again.
But just a note on Wagner. There have recently been Ruiz is pitting.
Ruiz?
I mean, he has like a minute gap.
I think
it doesn't matter, but Ruiz is pitting.
Ruiz is pitting because he can.
I wonder if Franklin are just concerned that he might have some similar problems as Wagner, and they just want to check the car over in the pits while they've got the gap.
They've got enough of a gap to do that, to be fair.
Exactly.
But did you see the gap between Hoskins and Giordano? It's down to 10 seconds now.
Is it? I didn't know. But there are only 10 laps left, 11.
Hoskins can do it.
He
Pressure
needs to get
tyres.
2nd a lap quicker.
And what, to catch and pass him?
Yes.
Yeah.
And he's only gained 2 seconds in 5 or 6 laps.
Don't take me.
Powers ahead of Bayer.
Yes. So he's passed Bayer somewhere.
No, that's Nakamaya. That's Nakamaya. So Bayer's up the road then ahead of this scrap.
Oh yes, sorry, yes, because Bayer passed Milkovic. My bad.
Well, I called it.
Yeah, it's your fault, Bradley. Dang it.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
So Ruiz, after that pit stop, is now leading by 45 seconds from Enzo Dominicali. Puccio Giordano just 2 seconds back in 3rd place. 4th is Will Hoskins, who is, as we see Nakamaya look to the inside of Nathaniel Powers. They touch slightly, but nothing doing. Marcus Thunder runs in 5th, 6 seconds ahead of Kit Maxwell, who just pitted from a podium position for some reason. Presumably he was running out of fuel.
Wasn't likely, a bit of a splash and dash.
It's Adrian Simon.
Yes. That's all I have to say.
That's all you have to add. Brilliant.
Yes. See, this is why I'm here, because yes.
No! Bayer's retired.
What did he do?
I don't know.
Did we miss that?
That's
Because
why
last time I saw him, he was putting a quality move on Nikolai Milkovic. This is what happened.
And this is why. Because he's on fire.
Okay. Well, that happened. That's tough luck for the Dutchman. He was driving a pretty solid race and just got himself up into the points.
Absolutely, he was having a cracker, was Felix Bayer.
Considering the car is kind of underperforming at the moment compared to usual.
Yeah, but yeah, just back to Franklin.
Yeah.
Wagner's Honda engine couldn't have expired at a worse time when there are currently significant rumours going around the paddock that Honda could be replaced as an engine supplier at Franklin next season.
They could be. Franklin have been in talks with a few suppliers. We don't know who.
Yes,
but we
do
know that we know that they've been in talks with Audi. Yes,
they've reportedly been in talks with Audi, who are currently the favourites should Honda not be kept on. Downton have also been rumoured, although they did mention in the past that they were supplying 4 teams next season, and that was including themselves, and that was all they would supply, so I'm not sure how they'd get round that one. But Red Bull was also touted as well.
Which would make sense with the sponsorship, although Red Bull have no experience building engines.
No, but I think the idea there would be that Franklin would build the engine with it just being branded as a Red Bull.
Yeah, more than likely. I do know for a fact that Westwood have also approached them, but I'm not entirely sure where that went. But
you got lost in his inbox somewhere.
Wow.
Or at least that will be the excuse.
Yes, that will be the excuse. Also worth noting, Kinnaman making his way back up to 12th place.
Yeah, although we have had quite a few retirements from high up the field.
We've had 2.
Yeah, but he was 14th.
No, he wasn't. He was 15th.
Oh, so he's passed 1 car.
You couldn't sound like...
As we see James Harding pit again for what, according to the timing screens, is the 7th time.
Wow, okay. That's... Wow.
Yeah, so
he just really likes it in the pits.
There's an AMR, the second AMR of Nakamaya's disappeared now.
Oh god, not another retirement, is it?
If it is, it's all your fault.
Why would it be my fault?
Because you said it.
I didn't say anything. I'm confused.
You did. You said we'd had only 1 retirement. And then they all dropped out. Nakamaya's pitted. He's now 12th. So Kinnaman's up to 11th. Just 1 position off a point-scoring place, despite an additional pit stop. But sadly, this is the final point-scoring place in Powers, and Kinnaman is nowhere in sight with 8 laps to go.
Be a shame if they came together and crashed.
It would, but I can't see that happening, because Powers is sensible, unlike Hoskins.
Oh, yeah, but who's running in 4th and who's running in 10th, Bradley?
Well, it's not Powers' fault. The car's no good.
No, whose fault is that, Bradley? I feel like this has become too personal, and we should move back onto the race.
We have a plan, okay?
Oh.
I'll leave it there.
So,
Enrique
Ruiz.
Got any good battles developing?
Nope.
We've got 44 seconds between first and second, so no.
Nope.
4 seconds between second and third. 8 seconds between third and fourth. 6 between fourth and fifth. And then 8 seconds, 3 seconds, and a lap, apparently.
Wow.
Oh, as we see one of the Warriors again getting in the way of
Russian
Powers goes around the outside of Russian, but doesn't make it because he himself gets bogged. So Milkovic gets back ahead. So there was nearly a change of positions there for 9th place, but Powers couldn't quite make it because the Warrior, the remaining Warrior of James Harding, who's had an absolute shocker of a race, just got in everybody's way.
He did indeed. He decided to get in Milkovic's way, and then decided to even it out by getting in Powers' way, which I think is only fair.
Oh, it's Thunder Pits!
Thunder's in the pits, okay. That's strange behaviour.
And he's come out just in front of Elroy. No, Wagner retired.
No, he hasn't. Wagner did retire. Jeez, Ruiz.
Hey. Oh, Ruiz has
Hey.
hit him.
That's unusual for Ruiz.
No,
What
it's
if-
not.
I was trying to make a joke.
Oh.
Don't know why I'm giggling like that.
Nor does anyone else.
This is why they give me happy pills. Because I'm crazy.
I wondered what those things were on the desk.
Oh no, there was something else. We don't want to talk about those when, you know, this is being broadcast.
So, moving on swiftly, Ruiz is leading this race, but currently having problems lapping Marcus Thunder, who's just come out of the pits. We have 17 cars left running. I'm sure there were more. There were, but we've had retirements, haven't we? Yes,
We have had
fine.
retirements. That's what happens, you see. We have more cars running. We have retirements, then we have less cars running, Bradley. You're slowly grasping it.
Yes, I'm getting there. It's only taken 1.5 seasons.
Oh, is that how long we've been commentating for?
Well, I don't know. I started in Spain last year. You started Portugal. So over a year now, over a season.
Wow. That's quite a long time. And just to note, I think Ruiz is really held up by that back marker because... Oh, sorry, no. Yeah, no, that back marker.
Yeah, hang on a minute. What do you mean that back marker?
What do you mean, what do I mean? It's Marcus Thunder. He's your driver.
That's not a back marker.
What a bet.
He's running 7th. How is he a back marker?
You do raise a good point.
He's ahead of Kinnaman.
Kinnaman made an unnecessary pit stop, which I will
So
be
did
investigating.
Thunder, just now.
Yeah, well,
Yes, your points have been shot down. Now leave it. Ruiz is leading. Currently from Enzo Domenicali, Puccio Giordano is running 3rd. Will Hoskins is 4th. Kip Maxwell 5th. Adrian Simon 6th. Marcus Thunder 7th. 8th is Jean Matson. 9th Nikolai Milkovic. And 10th Nathaniel Powers. With this 9th and 10th Milkovic and Powers the only real battle at the moment inside the top 10.
yeah, not really looking all too scintillating out on track.
It's not, but let's take a look at some of the strategies we've had here today. Hoskins on a 2-stop, Maxwell on a 2-stop, Simon on a 1-stop. Oh, we've got a spun fun.
That's Davenport. Okay, he's nailed that. That went well.
Yeah, that was a fantastic recovery there by Carson Davenport, who attempted to get out of a spin by spinning.
Because logic.
Yes, well it didn't work, did it? And he's now lost all chance of overtaking Arden Hutchinson for 13th place.
With only 5 laps left to go.
Yeah, in what could, after the comments that were mentioned earlier, what could end up being Hutchinson's last race.
Yes. Because tensions are running quite high between the team and the driver, with reportedly the Meteor engineers refusing to work on Hutchinson's car.
Oh, and
how's he managed to do that?
Comes Carson Davenport without a rear wing.
Okay.
So, having spun twice in one corner, he then must have hit a wall.
Must have done. That's...
Clumsy?
Clumsy would be a compliment. It's quite impressive how he's done that, though. So he must have spun it the 3rd time or something.
Either way, he's out.
He is indeed.
So we're coming to the conclusion of this race then, and it's not been the most exciting of V-Prix.
Well, no, but a lot of the drivers have driven well today. Solid, consistent races.
Well,
here we go.
We're going to see what happened to Davenport, and he just drifted wide and got on the grass and spun, and then he waited for the Westwood. That was nice of him.
That was very nice of him. I'm so glad he waited.
Kind of waited for the Meteor, and then went over to the other side and spun again, and
then reversed it.
That'll
do it. That'll do it. Okay, that's a lonely Downton.
I think Carson was fed up with this race.
I believe you could be correct. So Simon is actually catching his teammate Maxwell in 5th place.
Yeah, I was just going to say, is that the two Liverpools getting ever so closer together?
Yeah, yes it is, Bradley.
So it'd be interesting. I mean, we've only got 3 laps left, and there's still quite a gap. So
So probably nothing's going to happen.
Yeah, I doubt it'll close down, but it'd be interesting to see if Simon can catch Maxwell, because he really won't want to be beaten by him.
No, as we all know, Maxwell is widely regarded as the inferior driver.
Yeah, between the pair of them at least, and so in only their second race together to be ahead of Simon. Admittedly, they're on different strategies, and it looks as though maybe the two-stop has been a little bit better here today.
Yeah, looking at the way Hoskins has jumped through the field from 7th to 4th.
And he's still running fairly close to third place Giordano, so any slip-up from Giordano in these last 3 laps, and Hoskins will be right there.
Well, what's the gap?
5 seconds.
Oh, so he closed down half the gap he needed to, and then thought, nah.
To be fair,
Well,
closing down half the gap is pretty impressive.
True, 5 seconds in 10 laps, that's half a second a lap. Well, not quite 10 laps, so it's actually a bit more than that. But he'll definitely be hoping for a slip-up up front, but that's Kinnaman we're watching.
Is it?
Yes. Look at the number.
No, it's not. It's Hoskins. He just said Hoskins on the side.
I can't read. Don't laugh at me because I can't read.
You don't even know your own driver. As
No,
we
I
go
don't.
back to hours, still chasing down. That's not Kinnaman. It's Milkovic.
Hold
Why do
on.
the wrong names keep coming to me?
I wish it was Kinnaman because then he'd be in the points.
Yes, but unfortunately, Kinnaman, he's not far behind. He's nowhere near close enough to be able to make a move within the last 2 laps.
No.
But
You'd have to rely on these two scrapping and coming together for him to take that place.
and stopping and having a drink and maybe going for a wander.
A nice romantic walk in the moonlight, maybe.
I don't think Nathaniel's girlfriend would be particularly pleased with that.
Okay, maybe if we just take, like, the romantic part out of that.
Yeah, maybe. Do you know, I have to say, that's one thing I have noticed about this series. We don't get any shots in the garage of people who don't really matter.
No, but I think that's because their faces are all pixelated and you could say they're even a bit dreadful.
Oh, that was pretty good, actually.
Thank you. He's here all night, ladies and gentlemen.
As Enrique Ruiz starts the final lap of this race then, just to note, these two, the closest two in the top 10, Milkovic and Powers, are just coming up to lap one of the Ocelots. So there might be a little bit of movement there then, because the backmarkers have tended to cause a bit of overtaking today.
I would like to see something happen, because it is the last lap, and for the past 5 laps, nothing has been happening.
Look what Davenport reversed into a wall.
Yeah, but is that really exciting?
Well, it might have been for the crowd that were there.
Probably was for the wall as well. Oh.
In the actual road scene all day. I don't mean it like that.
Oh no, of course you don't, Bradley. You don't mean it that way at all.
Oh, we're going to get more complaints.
Yes, we are.
So, we're on the final lap here, and we're yet to see our race... Never mind, there he is.
There it is.
So, Ruiz rounds the hairpin for the final time. That was a quick last lap. Is he going for the fastest lap, or what?
He's already got it, mate. No, he hasn't actually. Wagner had it
Yeah,
last.
didn't Wagner take it?
He did. Wagner took it, and
But yeah, so...
Ruiz hasn't taken it since.
Ruiz rounds the chicane for the final time, passes the Wall of Champions, and will come down to claim a comfortable victory in the Canadian V-Prix. Ruiz wins, and we now have to wait an absolute age for the rest of the field.
Yeah. KFC.
Ruiz, you know, that's 2 wins in a row now. He's struggled considerably this season for a large portion of it, but a lot of the time he's been on it and he's suffered mechanical failures.
Oh yeah. I mean,
He
you think.
has made a huge number of errors.
Hang on. Oh, I was going to say there was a Rossi behind a Westwood.
Yeah, Dominicali finishes in 2nd place. Giordano's going to take 3rd, but Hoskins has disappeared. He's lost an awful lot of time.
No.
On the final lap, so Giordano takes third and completes the podium then. It will be a double podium finish for Rossi, and there's Will Hoskins. He's still in fourth, but he's got Maxwell right behind him.
Must have made a mistake. All he's got to do is keep it on the road now, and he does.
Yeah, he keeps it on the road through the final chicane. Hoskins is going to cross the line to take fourth place for Westwood. A fantastic result, their best of the season. Maxwell finishes fifth. He's beaten his teammate Adrian Simon. A brilliant result for Kip Maxwell. Simon comes home in sixth. We're now waiting for Marcus Thunder to cross the line in seventh, which he may well do in a minute, we don't know. But Ruiz has won this one here today, and a brilliant drive, and he's stopped in the pit lane, and his engine's gone.
Well,
so that was very lucky for Enrique Ruiz, who was broken down just as he got back to the pits, but it doesn't matter. He's won the Canadian V-Prix. So Enrique Ruiz takes his second win in a row, with the two Rossis of Dominicali and Giordano completing the podium. It's a fantastic fourth place for Will Hoskins as the Liverpools, Downtons and Ingrams round out the point scorers. But the biggest talking point of this race has to be the retirement of Elroy Wagner. The championship leader out with suspension failure and losing a lot of his championship lead, which as you can see now is down to 18 points to Enzo Dominicali, with the Italian the shock closest contender to the man who's led from the front all season. Ruiz gains 3 spots with that win, as does Hoskins with the fine 4th place, relegating his teammate Timo Kinnaman to the second page. Kip Maxwell goes up to 14th with another strong point scoring finish. In fact, he beat Adrian Simon in only the second race as teammate to the Frenchman at Liverpool. In the Constructors' Championship, Franklin continue to lead. Rossi have passed Liverpool for second and are now just 18 points behind the reigning Constructors' Champions. But that's the end of our race today, so from both me and Harry, it's goodbye from Montreal, and see you next time.